weather outside is frightful, but hello, hi, how you doing out there in internet land? My name is Brian Trippett. I am known as the Front Porch Conservative, and you have found your way to the newsroom. That fun little thing we do at the beginning of the week where we get together, we talk about the news, we give our views, and we try to make it through this crazy thing that we call life. Again, my name is Brian Trippett. If you've never met me before, I am known in social media as the Front Porch Conservative. I am also sometimes known as the fine fella in the fedora. On occasion, I'm called the beau in the chapeau, sometimes referred to as the common man with common sense. But in this moment, for this amount of time that we have together, I am known as your host. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So if you do not mind, if you would not care, if you would please help me out in the spirit of the holiday season. If you're not a subscriber to my channel already, please go ahead and do so. Number 2, please hit the bell for notifications. Number 3, share the link with your friends. And for tonight's purposes, whether you're a channel member or not, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment in chat. It really does help with the algorithm as far as pushing this live stream out to people, so it would really help me out greatly. I am so glad to see you guys. It has been a while since we've been together, about a week actually. That was the last live stream that I did, and with Thanksgiving and everything that went on, I hope that your Thanksgiving gatherings were good. Be interested to hear some of your stories from the holiday. For my part, I had a wonderful time. The lady was in town along with her family, and we got to spend some time together. Our families spent time with each other, bits and pieces of them anyway. Yeah, it was 7 days ago. Good evening, WWG1. Glad to have you here with us. Yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, for my part, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you guys did too. And like I say, if you've got stories about, your holidays with your in-laws, your outlaws, your ex-laws, your in whatever, feel free to share them. I mean, I'm sure everybody would like to know how things went with your Thanksgiving. And we're now in the Christmas season officially. Monday was December the 1st. To me, that is the Christmas season. Okay. They can talk all they want to about Black Friday. They can talk all they want to about this and that. No. To me, that is the holiday season starts officially December the 1st. So 1 second, folks. I got something going to voicemail here, and I have no idea what it is. Very strange looking. Nah, it's going to voicemail. If it were important, I'd hear about it. Anyway, well, hang on a minute. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, folks. Okay, this may. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on 1 moment. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, goodness me. Oh, good to have you all here tonight. Glad to see you guys. All right, let's see who all is in the house. Who all is here this evening? Let's see. We know TBA's in the house. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Well, no, we'll get to some of that. Now, wait a minute. If you're wondering what he's getting to, we'll get to some of that momentarily. So hold on, y'all. Let's see what else do we have here. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Too many memes, enough to get you by for a bit, Brian. Oh, no, they're not too many memes. They're always wonderful. We're glad to have you here, TBA. Miss Gypsy's in the house. Mwah. Grab a lat. Yeah, it is cold out there. You got that right, sister. You absolutely have that right. It is very cold indeed. See who else is here. Yolo Yoko. All right. Hello, Yolo Yoko. We're glad to have you here. AH is in the house. Good evening, AH. Glad to have you here with us. Miss Patay from freezing Madison, Wisconsin. Woo! Yeah, you guys had a football game over the weekend, did you not? Was it Minnesota? And I guess it was the Battle of the Paul Bunyan Axe, I think it is. Yeah, I saw the snow up there in Madison, Wisconsin. I was like, whoo, I'm glad I'm not sitting outside for that one. Although the game I went to with the lady, I was like, yeah, this game's a waste. But anyway, let's see who else is here. Who else is here? Good evening, Miss Lana. Glad to have you in the house. It's going to get down to 52 at like 4 a.m. probably. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Who else is here? Oh, that was you who was calling me. Okay. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is not good. Oh, man. That is okay. Well, that's good news. Dinner did get served, so that's good. Um, you're calling me about a multi-level business opportunity. No, just no, absolutely not. No. Um, really? Now I knew there was snow in Ann Arbor. I saw that on Saturday when I was watching the Michigan-Ohio State game, but I didn't know that northern Michigan got that much snow. Would not surprise me, however. Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting. Okay, what else have we got out here? Who else? Hello, Miss Jessica. Mwah. Good to see you, my dear. One of the best folks on Twitter you're ever going to follow. So yes, give her a follow, people. Yeah. Hi. How you doing, Salty? Good to have everybody in the house tonight. Like I said, it's been a little while. We've got memes lined up. We got a couple of different subjects to get into, and one of them I need your help with. And I'm going to go ahead and ask for this already because we're going to be talking about this whole Venezuela thing. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the world, but I got to get this one out of my system because I need your guys' help because I don't understand what the heck we're doing here. And I'll explain what I'm getting at. And if you're wondering what I'm referring to, somebody help me understand why we're even thinking about going down to Venezuela and messing around with Maduro. I mean, militarily, we could defeat the country. I'm not worried about that. Why are we doing this? Explain this to me. Somebody explain to me why we're doing this. We'll get to that subject a little later. Anyway, glad to have you guys here tonight. We got a whole bunch of memes. Let's just dive right in. And it is officially the Christmas season, ladies and gentlemen, which means the opportunity for you to buy gifts for your fellow family members, particularly the little people in your life, children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, that sort of thing. And in the spirit of trying to help you with your holiday shopping, okay? In the spirit of trying to help you with your holiday shopping, a new children's book has come out on the market. And for those of you who consider yourselves based, you might want to think about getting this for your little people. Seriously? You're done? Wow. Holy cow. Good for you, TBA. But on the off chance that you need a last minute gift, there's a new children's book that has come out. And this is particularly for people who are red-pilled and based. The book is called Franklin Court-Martial's A Seditionist. Like I say, I'm not quite sure if this is age appropriate or what age range that the authors intended this for, but for those of you out there that consider yourselves to be you're right. You're absolutely right. Gypsy, I am so sorry. You're right. It is time for my Christmas hat and vest. I'll tell you what, guys, I'll make it up to you on Thursday. Definitely make it up to you on Thursday. But I'm not going back to this thing. I'm not sure what the age range is on this one. But for those of you out there that are looking for a gift for your younger family members, this might be the way to go. Just saying. It's called Franklin Court-Martial's A Seditionist. So if you're looking for a gift for a family member that is based, Well, there you go. There you go. Anyway, let's see. Now, in that same vein, everybody's trying to loosen up the vocal cords. They're starting their Christmas caroling. And there's some holiday favorites that are just they absolutely go with the season. Joy to the World, Silent Night, Away in a Manger, so many others. I mean, for example, some people really get into the song Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I mean, they work on their singing and they go over the lyrics. I mean, for example, the lyric, he's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who gets deported by ICE. What wait a minute, wait a second. I don't remember the lyrics being like this. The heck is this? I mean, making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who gets deported by ICE. Santa. This is not in Santa Claus is Coming. Who did this? Who did this? I tell you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello, Zippy. I saw you stroll into the room a few minutes ago. Glad to have you in the house, my friend. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Glad to have you just bringing all your feline energy into the room. Yeah, self-deport and Santa will give you a gift. Yeah, a free ride right out of the country, baby. Jeez, I don't know who came up with this. I mean, seriously. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah, Santa Claus is bringing ice with him is what he's doing. Holy cow. Well, again, but in all seriousness, though, I mean, people do enjoy singing during the holiday season. There's so many great old songs. I mean, and another great one is Let It Snow. I mean, and given the weather today, I don't know what it was like in your area. Where I am, I got a very light coating of snow. The lady got about 4 or 5 inches where she lives. I mean, and I know that Jessica's just dying for the first snow out there in Colorado, and you guys have gotten snow around the country. But yeah, Let It Snow is another great Christmas rendition. And in that same vein, we got somebody who's already been working on his vocal cords. Let's see how he does with this. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor and check this out.
Well, the tide is finally turning, and Kamala's speech is slurring.
What?
Thank God we're saying bye to Joe. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke.
Huh?
And the mainstream media's dying. Their viewers shaving their heads and crying. What is a woman? Well, they still don't know. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke. They tried to stop us by taking his life, but they missed, so it's fight, fight, fight. The left really thought they'd beat the right, and they fought, but they lost, thank the Lord. Now January is coming. Half of Hollywood's already running. They're finding new countries to call home. Screw the woke, screw the woke, screw the woke.
Again, folks, I'm not sure what happened here. I remember the lyrics to Let It Snow being much different than this. I don't know. I just, yeah, exactly. I don't remember those lyrics. Where did that come from? I don't get that. Oh my word. And Jessica says, as far as snow is concerned, that she is dying for 6 inches. Are we referring to snow or are we talking about something else? I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Got to watch out for that Jessica Fensky. She's a sneaky thing, that Forest Mommy. Never quite know where she's going with her conversations. Young lady. Anyway, wait a minute. I have not seen this movie yet, but I am dying to do so. For those of you who may not know what we're referring to here, there is a movie coming out. Similar, I think it's either a remake of Judgment at Nuremberg or it's a take on the Nuremberg trials, and it's got a really good cast. I think Michael Shannon is in it, Remy Malek, Russell Crowe turns in a really good performance as Gearing, and it's already out. It's out November 7th. Okay, so it's been out for about a month now. I have not seen this yet, but I am dying to do so. That looks like it. I tell you what, speaking of movies, before we get back to the memes, there are a couple of movies coming out this month, 2 or 3 of them actually, that I want to see. I have to talk it over with the lady, but yeah, there's 2 or 3 movies going to be in the theater, I'll just let you know right now. Very rarely do I ever go to the movie theaters anymore. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Most of it has to do with the fact that most of what Hollywood puts out now is just junk. It's either remakes or really crappy material. There's very little in the way of movies that makes me actually want to go to the theater. And don't get me wrong, I love going to the movies. I really do. You know, if I find a movie that I think is really good, I'm willing to go by myself. You know, again, there's about 2 or 3 of them. I have to talk to the lady and see if she's interested. But yeah, Nuremberg is one I wouldn't mind seeing. Even if I went by myself, I'd still love to go see it. Like I say, I don't know if Russell Crowe is going to win any awards coming up in the spring for his performance, but it sounds like he is really good in this movie. But anyway, I digress. All right. What else do we have? What else do we have in the way of the merry memes? Let's see here. Oh, by the way, now look, there's going to be snow on the roads. Your state and local road crews are going to be out there trying to make sure that you can drive safely on our highways and byways. So please appreciate what they do. Please do not take the attitude that this person did when they created this meme. I don't know how they plowed the roads where he or she is from, but it must not have been too good of an effort if they came up with this. Okay. So just remember, it's the holiday season, peace on earth, goodwill toward all men. Be nice to your local state road worker. Okay. Just saying. Unless they do something really dumb as far as plowing the roads and you wind up in a bad situation. So there you go. Anyway. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. Let us see. You know, sometimes someone like a Bernie Sanders will say something that really makes you think. And then there's sometimes he says something that really makes you think he ought to just shut up. For example, when Bernie said that getting an education isn't a crime, we need to cancel every penny of student debt. Does that also mean that if we drink a lot of whiskey, it isn't a crime and we need to cancel every penny of somebody's bar tab? I mean, I give Michael Knowles credit here. He may be onto something, you know. Yeah, I just saying. I mean, maybe Michael's right. Heck, you know, if drinking a lot of whiskey isn't a crime, maybe somebody ought to cancel the bar tab. Seems like a fairly reasonable idea to me. But, you know, what do I know? Oh, what else? Well, lately, folks, there's a lot of things going on in the world, philosophically speaking. And lots of discussions about socialism and AOC and Mom Donnie and what does it all mean for America and where are we going? Well, you know, I've always said there are some memes that just kind of speak for themselves. I'm going to drop this one up here because it needs really no introduction. Just think about it. Words of wisdom from the great Ronald Reagan. And boy, was he absolutely. Oh, hey, preach. Yeah, preach, sister. You got that right. You got that right. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. Mm-mm-mm. Now, wait a minute. I don't think this is what Michael Knowles was referring to, sir. I mean, seriously. Good grief. I mean, salty. That's just no. Good grief. Now, what are you? Don't encourage. Do not encourage him. Will he take singles? Oh my god. Oh yeah. Anyway, well, like I said, there's a lot of conversation about socialism, AOC, Mom Donnie. Matter of fact, keep an eye on that race down in Tennessee tonight for that special House district. That's getting fairly interesting. They call that Democrat candidate. They call that candidate the AOC of Tennessee. Yes. Anyway, and apparently now that Mom Donnie's been elected mayor of New York City, and he'll take the oath, I guess, on January 1st. There's been a lot of discussion about the relationship between AOC and Mom Donnie. Now, for the record, Mom Donnie is a married man. AOC, when last I heard, was in a significant relationship with somebody. However, there have been accusations that the two of them have been, shall we say, more than political bedfellows, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And it's to that end that someone came up with this. Maybe this is how the conversations go, between the two of them at night, or maybe not. Maybe this is what they're thinking about each other. Maybe she's thinking that he's thinking about other women, and maybe he's thinking she hoped that she looked more like a goat or not a donkey. I don't know with these two. With AOC and Mom Donnie, I don't know what's going on under the covers with these two. Okay, we'll just leave that alone. There's just some things I don't need to know, and for the record, I don't want to know. That's just whoo. Oh my. Yikes. But yeah, maybe this is what these two are thinking about whenever they are under the sheets. I don't know. Anywho. In a kind of related subject. Did you guys know that there is now a new relationship, speaking of socialism, that there is a new relationship between the citizens of Somalia and the Russian government? I will say that again. There is a new relationship between the citizens of Somalia and the Russian government. Apparently, the Russians are engaging in their own form of the purge, and it basically works like this. Wealthy Russians are hiring luxury yachts to sail near Somalia on pirate hunting expeditions. The goal is to attract pirates and approach them so they can open fire with grenade launchers and automatic weapons. Like I say, I don't know if we should call it a new relationship or if we should call it a unique relationship. But apparently, there's something different going on between the Somalis and the Russians. And look, I'm sure that the Russians are considered to be a people with a unique sense of humor. However, I'm not sure if this qualifies as a unique sense of humor or what you call this, but apparently this is the idea of an upgrade in the relationship. Pirate. Well, no, maybe it is an upgrade in the relationship between the Somalis and the Russians. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting indeed. Maybe it isn't. Pirate hunting is an upgrade. I don't know. You might be right, TBA. You might be absolutely right. Let's see. What else do we have here? By the way, speaking of Somalis, did you hear about Elon Omar's endorsement? This is back before the November election, all right? And if you don't know what I'm referring to, there was a special election out in Minnesota. Well, it wasn't special, it was a regular election between the incumbent mayor, Jacob Fry, and there was a gentleman who was Somali, and I forget exactly what his name was, but he was giving Jacob Fry a run for his money for the mayorship of Minneapolis. And there was a event where Elon Omar was speaking on behalf of her Somali compatriot. And did you guys hear the introduction speech that Elon Omar gave this guy? I didn't know quite what to make of this. It came to my attention. Yeah, he looks like a little demon. But if you're wondering, oh yeah, I agree with you completely. I agree completely. But if you're wondering what that speech sounded like from Elon Omar on behalf of her Somali compatriot, folks, do me a favor and check this out.
When I first met this guy, the pirate from movie Captain Phillips, you know, the one that says, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." I thought he was kind of hot, you know, all malnourished and shit. But I cannot sleep with man if he not my brother. So I go to Ancestry.com to see if he related to me, and bam, I find out he is my brother. So now I'm about to make him my captain, if you know what I mean.
Whoa, that's kind of what the, hey, hold on now. Just a second. This is a family-friendly live stream. Listen, lady, what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom there in New Somalia, I mean, Minnesota is up to you, but don't be, oh my gosh. Oh my word. Oh. What the, I'm not sure where that came from. I'm not sure if that was you or if that was WWG1. No, not that kind of family friendly, for heaven's sake. What the? Exactly. Look, Alabama looks normal compared to that. That's just straight crazy, people. Woo. Well, it makes you wonder. I don't know, man. Gee whiz. My gosh. Salty. Oh, Salty. You're tempting me, boy. You're tempting me. Hang on a minute. One moment, please. Salty is serious. No. I'll save it for Saturday. How about that? I'll save it for Saturday. Oh my word. Hang on a minute. I gotta stash this someplace. Holy cow. Lord have mercy, Salty. You are wrong in so many different ways. I mean, you know what? I really can't believe I gotta make sure about this. Hold on. Let's check this out one more time.
When I first met this guy, the pirate from movie Captain Phillips, you know, the one that says, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." I thought he was kind of hot, you know, all malnourished and shit. But I cannot sleep with man if he not my brother. So I go to Ancestry.com to see if he related to me, and bam, I find out he is my brother. So now I'm about to make him my captain, if you know what I mean.
Like I said, folks, what they do in New Somalia, I have no idea. But for all you folks that live in Alabama, Kentucky, and parts of West Virginia, I'm just going to say this. We are off the hook, okay? Anything that's ever been said about any of us, after listening to that, we are off the hook. We will never be accused of it again. No. We is right now, after listening to that, we is righteous in the eyes of the Lord. Amen, brother and sister. Whew. What they do up there in Minnesota. Oh, on a mildly related subject. What exactly? Exactly. At least in our culture, we only go after our second cousins. Thank you very much. Anyway, Candace Owens is making the news, and she is very, very upset with the Trump administration right now. More particularly with the FBI, which then again, these days, who's not upset with the FBI? But in case you haven't heard about what's going on, holy cow. Did you know that allegedly that there is a plot by the French government to have Candace Owens assassinated? Again, I find this accusation to be astounding, but Candace is out there making it. As a matter of fact, she has offered proof to the FBI of who these individuals are in this very elite assassin squad. And I can understand why she's upset with the FBI. If I were presenting them with evidence like this about who are the members that make up this assassination squad that's out to take her out, and the FBI not do anything about it, I would be horribly upset too. So look, as far as I'm concerned, Candace has got a right to be absolutely torqued about this. If these dudes were hunting me down and I told the authorities and nobody did anything about it, I'd be really ticked. I mean, after all, it's my tax dollars that should be, be at work to protect me. But instead, now just poor old Candace is going to be out there, and the Lord only knows what happens to her, because these are some bad these are some bad hombres, man. I mean, look at that bunch. I'd be scared to death if this crew rolled up. So, say a prayer for old Candace, and hopefully she's going to be okay. Oh gosh, honey. We could spend a couple or 3 hours into that subject, because, oh boy, yeah. Yeah, boy. Shalom, bonjour, bipu. Oh, jeez. YOLO Yoko, gotta love you. Gotta love you. Yeah, that's true. Well, no, that is true too. That is true too, to be honest. Anyway. All right, couple or 3 more. We'll get into this. Now, this one is kind of newsy related, and I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. But earlier today, matter of fact, is actually almost an hour and a half ago, Donald Trump dropped the following out on Truth Social. Any and all documents, proclamations, executive orders, memorandums, or contracts signed by order of the now infamous and unauthorized auto pen within the administration of Joseph R. Biden Jr. are hereby null, void, and of no further force or effect. Anyone receiving pardons, commutations, or other legal documents so signed, be advised that said document has been fully and completely terminated and is of no legal effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I had not intended to talk about this as a news story. Now, here's the question. Here's the question that I've got for you guys. Okay. Is this Donald Trump trolling, or is he serious? And if he is serious, my next question is, when does the legal justification for Trump's statement come out? Does it come out tomorrow? Friday? I mean, when does this happen? And if this is legally enforceable, does that mean that Anthony Fauci is on the hook, or the members of the Biden family? No, wait a minute. He actually signed the Biden family. Okay. Okay, so you think it's 50-50. Okay. You think he's serious. All right. Well, now this is true too. And got to give him something to re about all weekend. I agree with that. So we'll see what happens here. We will see what happens. And one last one. Santa, there's word coming out of the North Pole that Santa's not giving anybody anything. Santa is not giving anybody a daggone thing this year until the following happens. And really, I think this is very hardcore on Santa's part. It really is. I just, yikes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Santa says nobody's getting anything until we all wake up. It's going to be a very, very lonely Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. All right. Much thanks to TBA. Much thanks to WWG1, Salty, everybody who's given memes. As always, thank you for your contributions. And by the way, remember, hey, right down here, that's where you tag me on Twitter. If you've got a meme or a story that you'd like for us to take a look at, if you think it's interesting enough, hey, shoot it to me. Let's take a look. Owner of the live stream, still reserves the right to use or not use what you contribute, but more often than not, what you send finds its way up on the screen. So take your best shot. Let's see what you got. All right. Let us get into our topic of the night. And I said a little bit earlier, I need your guys' help because I don't understand what the heck we're doing here. Okay. Venezuela. And I know there's a million and one topics in the news, but folks, we're right on the edge of doing something again that always gets us into trouble. And worst of all, it's being done by somebody who said, we're never going to do it. No more. No more foreign wars, no more foreign interventions, no more anything else. We're getting ready to do a regime change in Venezuela. And I want to start off with a question and an answer to the question from this afternoon on Capitol Hill. John Thune, the Senate Republican Majority Leader, was out at the microphones giving a statement, and he got asked a question. And I don't know if it's his answer that bugs me so much or just the whole sleepwalking attitude. But anyway, you guys listen to this and tell me what you think.
Are we at war in the Caribbean? And if so...
Okay, let me see if I can do something about the sound on that. Now, sound is up all the way. The question that he gets asked is this. Are we at war in the Caribbean? And if so, what's going on? So let me back that up to the start. Again, my apologies for the volume, but anyway, here we go.
Are we at war in the Caribbean? And if so, should the president declare war and or should Congress approve an authorization?
I think.
Okay, so the question is, are we at war in the Caribbean? And if so, should the president come before the Congress and ask for a declaration of war? And would the Congress give a declaration of war? Here's John Thune's answer.
The president is acting under his authority as commander-in-chief in a way that's consistent with what past administrations have done. And clearly, war has been waged by these drug cartels against the United States, and it has come at a great cost to American citizens. We've lost tens of thousands of lives in just the past year to these drug cartels. So I think the president's operating within his authorities.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Folks, I am 54 years old. And almost for as long as I've been alive, no, I take that back. For as long as I've been alive, we, the United States, have been engaging in a war on drugs. I can remember seeing clips of Richard Nixon talking about the war on drugs. Okay? We have been waging a, quote, war on drugs for over 50 years. But with the exception of 1989, when we went down to Panama to take out General Manuel Noriega, I don't ever remember us doing what we're doing in Venezuela. Okay. All right. I don't remember us doing what we're doing now. And by that, I mean, let me back it up a second. This started back during the summer. I remember the report of the very first drug boat that got bombed in the Caribbean, coming from Venezuela up to the U.S. And then another. And then a third. And then all of a sudden, reports start coming out that we're housing F-35s down in Puerto Rico. Then reports start coming out that we've got 3,000 amphibious Marines doing exercises down the Caribbean. Then we get reports that we're massing ships in the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela. Then we get reports that an aircraft carrier is being moved from the Mediterranean into the Caribbean. We've got upwards of God knows how many ships and God knows how many men doing training exercises off the coast of Venezuela, poised to launch strikes against the regime of Nicolas Maduro. Why? Somebody explain this to me. I'm sorry if I sound frustrated, and I'm sorry if this is maybe not the best topic to do, in December, but I'm watching the same thing happen all over again, and somebody needs to tell me, why are we doing this? Is this for drugs? Now don't get me wrong. Let me back up here just a second. Okay. Do I want to see any more drugs come into the United States from Central or South America than what we already got? Heck no. Okay. No, I don't. Do I acknowledge there are drugs coming out of Venezuela? Yeah, I don't dispute any of that. But you can't convince, somebody needs to do a real good job convincing me that the drugs coming out of Venezuela are a bigger problem than the ones coming out of Mexico. If this is about drugs, how come we're not threatening to take on Mexico? Okay. If we're doing this because of drugs, how come we're not threatening to invade Mexico? Because frankly, you could make a really good argument that the fentanyl coming out of Mexico, which by the way, the Chinese supposedly are very heavily involved in, the materials to make the fentanyl is coming out of China. It's coming down to Mexico. Mexico's making the fentanyl, and the cartels are sending the fentanyl up in the United States and getting God knows how many people killed. Okay. If this is about drugs, then how come we're not threatening to invade Mexico? Which, by the way, I say that, and then you got Donald Trump making this kind of a statement today. Let me make sure I got the right clip pulled up here. Yeah, here it is. So he's in a cabinet meeting, and they get done with the cabinet meeting, and the reporter's asking questions, and Trump pops off this gem of a comment.
I hear Colombia, the country of Colombia, is making cocaine. They have cocaine manufacturing plants, okay? And then they sell us their cocaine. We appreciate that very much. But yeah, anybody that's doing that and selling it into our country is subject to attack.
Really? So we're basically reached the point that we can't interdict enough of it. We can't law enforcement our way out of it. You send drugs up here, we're going to bomb you. Huh? What? Really? Again, am I in favor of just opening up the border and let, God knows how many drugs or different kinds of drugs or tons of it coming in the country? No, that's not my point. Seriously? This is our justification for Venezuela. You're sending us drugs. We can't get you to stop it. And our way to solve the problem is we're going to force your regime out of power. This is where we're going with it. Or maybe it's not about drugs. Maybe it's not about drugs. Maybe here's one for you. Try this on for size. What if it's about oh my gosh. What if it's about something even more nefarious? Check this out. Yep, wait a minute. Hold it. Do we have no sound on this thing? No, we don't. Sorry about that, folks. I picked up a clip that has no sound. That is not good. But Fox News is out there claiming Maduro is giving uranium to Hamas and says the U.S. should invade because Venezuela has oil. This is crazy. Now, lest you think that I'm being facetious with this, my point is there are like 1,000,000,001 justifications being given. You can see the snowball effect, right? It's about the drugs. No, it's about Maduro's ties to terrorists. No, it's about liberating the Venezuelans. No, it's about. Okay, listen. If we're going to launch some kind of military operation into Venezuela to take out the Maduro regime, then for the love of God, considering what we've been through after 9/11, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Ukraine, need I go on? Would the Trump administration please find it within themselves to come before the American people and make a justifiable case as to why we're doing this? I don't think that's too much to ask. I mean, you're about to put our loved ones in the United States military into harm's way with the potential to get them injured or killed. You are about to utilize and sacrifice, might I add, the blood and the treasure of the United States military. Excuse me, you have an obligation. You, the Trump administration, especially the Trump administration, you have an obligation to come before the American people and explain why are we doing this. Especially after you promised everybody no more foreign wars, no more interventions, no more nothing like that. We're not going to go about regime change. We're not going to go about, nation building. You've been saying this stuff for off and on 10 years. Okay? You've been saying this stuff for 10 years. You owe it to the American people to give them an explanation as to why we're doing this. Because you're going to potentially get somebody's brother or sister, aunt or uncle, father or mother killed. And for what? For what, Mr. President? Why are we doing this? Don't tell me it's about the drugs. If this were about the drugs, we'd be going into Mexico. We'd be going into Colombia. We'd be going into Peru. We'd be going into every Central, South American country below our border. Don't give me this crap. Let's hear it. Make your case. Make your case to the American people. Why are we doing this? Some people right now believe that you're about to give Marco Rubio the biggest fever dream he's ever had. Because Marco's had a serious Jones to get Venezuela invaded, if for no other reason to screw up Cuba. Cuba relies on Venezuelan oil and money to keep their economy going. You take out Venezuela's regime, Cuba could fall. Gee, now, refresh my memory. What state is Marco from? I mean, this to me is just plain crazy. I mean, I do not get this one. Now, WWG1 just dropped something in here. Let me take a look at this real fast. We might be reading some of this. Yeah, I want to. Let's take a look at this real fast. WWG1 just dropped this in to help explain maybe why all this is happening. And I'll pop this up on screen. This is from Politico. Regime change is back. MAGA is getting comfortable with it. I hope not. Trump on Tuesday teased an imminent land strike against Venezuela and suggested he might attack other countries as well. Article by Megan Messerly, Eric Bazale Emil, and Diana Nerazi. We have the following. President Donald Trump built his America First movement in part on the promise of keeping the U.S. out of foreign entanglements. On Tuesday, he teased an imminent land strike against Venezuela and even suggested he might attack other countries as well. The whiplash has some anti-interventionists among Trump's most ardent backers on the back foot, as it appears all but certain Trump is ready to use force to oust Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. The specter of the Iraq War is ever present, and they worry that unintended consequences from Maduro's ouster could mire the U.S. in conflict for years, destabilize the region, ruin Trump's legacy, and tarnish MAGA's brand with voters. Other Republicans, critical of past foreign entanglements, are left defending the policy by drawing distinctions that at times appear strained or artificial. They argue intervention in the Western Hemisphere is more defensible than the Middle East war spent years denouncing, and that Trump isn't pursuing real regime change, but rather trying to force a change in Venezuelan leadership without remaking the country's political system. He's not trying to play God with what regime is in which country, said Alex Gray, who serves as National Security Chief of Staff and Deputy Assistant to the President during the first Trump administration. This is the purest example of him realigning our interest and our focus to something that actually matters to core American interest. Okay, then what's the American interest here? Somebody explain this to me. What is the American interest? What is it? Again, you're about to use the blood and the treasure of the United States military. What is our national security interest? Because if this is about drugs, I want everybody to think about what's being said here. We've given up on law enforcement trying to keep the drugs out. Now, if you try to pump drugs in our country, we will go down there and we will destabilize your regime and we will take you out. Plus, that article brings up a really good point that I don't think anybody's thinking about yet. So let's assume for a moment that we take out Maduro as far as the leader of Venezuela. What stops that from turning into some kind of humanitarian crisis that's going to require us to take in a bunch of Venezuelan refugees? I ask you. What stops this from turning into a humanitarian crisis? Very little, I think. I mean, and if this is about the drugs, then somebody explain to me why we're doing this. Did you guys see this story from the Associated Press? Former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez freed after a Trump pardon. Now, lest you think that Trump is being magnanimous here to a political prisoner, do y'all know why he was put in jail? Check this out. Former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, sentenced last year to 45 years in prison for his role in a drug trafficking operation that moved hundreds of tons of cocaine to the United States, was released from prison following a pardon from President Donald Trump, officials confirmed Tuesday. Fernandez was released Monday from the U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in West Virginia. A spokesperson for the Bureau of Prisons said to the Associated Press, the Bureau's online inmate records also reflected his release. The release of Hernandez, a former U.S. ally whose conviction prosecutors said exposed the depth of the cartel influence in Honduras, comes days after the country's presidential election, Trump defended the decision on Air Force One on Sunday, saying Hondurans believe Hernandez had been set up, even as prosecutors argued he protected drug traffickers who moved hundreds of tons of cocaine into the country. The pardon also unfolds against the backdrop of Trump's aggressive counter-narcotics push that has triggered intense controversy in Latin America. Again, if this is about drugs, okay, laying aside whether the case against this former leader in Honduras was shaky or not, seriously? We're going to go attack Maduro, allegedly over drugs, but we're going to turn this guy loose who allegedly helped funnel hundreds of tons of cocaine into America. Somebody help me make sense out of all this. This is crazy. I mean, look, it doesn't matter if it's Fox News or anybody else. The American people are decidedly, and I mean decidedly against, where did I see it earlier? Hold on a minute. Hold on just a minute. I know I saw this earlier. One moment. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. Now, again, this is just one poll. This is from CBS News. 70% of the American people oppose military action in Venezuela. Okay. I saw another poll earlier. I know I saw this. Hang on. I'm pretty sure I did. But there is poll after poll coming out. Nobody wants to see us go into Venezuela. And sadly, Gypsy, I think you may be absolutely right. Well, okay. Okay. Are there things that a government, regardless of whether it's Donald Trump or anybody else, are there things they cannot tell us in the moment? Yes. And I understand that. I respect that. Okay. Backstory. Give me a front story. Give me something here. Okay. If this is about drugs, then explain the pardon. I mean, this is just, I don't think that the Trump administration has made their case. I don't think they've made the case to the American people. Why are we doing this? Like I said, we've had a war on drugs going on for 50 years, but with the exception of Noriega in 89, we've never done anything like what we're proposing to do in Venezuela. Seriously. The only other time that I can remember us doing what we're getting ready to do was Noriega in 89. And even that had some hinky sort of circumstances going along with it. You can make a lot of argument. The CIA was having a lot of fun at Noriega's expense in one form or another. But this is crazy. Well, okay, this is a possibility. I could understand it. I could understand this. But if that's the case, then what's the other shoe to drop? You know, what is the other shoe to drop? And here begs another question too while we're at it. What if Maduro, because according to all reports that I've heard, Maduro has said, okay, fine, I'll leave. You want me to go? I'll go. What if he can't? I saw this earlier, and again, take it for what it's worth. This is from the Twitter account Amuse. Is Maduro's regime holding him, quote, hostage, claiming CIA and U.S. Special Forces are in Venezuela? Reports indicate that top Venezuelan officials are preventing Nicolas Maduro from fleeing the country, warning him the CIA and the Special Forces are allegedly operating in Venezuela and would capture him if he tried to escape. In reality, insiders fear that if Maduro leaves, their regime collapses and their own fates are sealed. Maduro could live comfortably in exile, but his cronies know that once he's gone, accountability comes for them next. Again, somebody explain this to me. Well, and this is another good one. You know, you're not the only one. You are not the only one. I don't get this one at all. Again, I think the president has an obligation to come to the American people and explain why he's doing this. Or could it be something even more insidious than this? Again, check this out.
As President Trump weighs next steps when it comes to Venezuela, the State Department is pushing back on questions of whether oil is a driving factor for the U.S. military buildup in the region. The White House insists military operations there are about stopping drug trafficking. But Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro claims that it's all about oil. CNN's Matt Egan joins us now. He's looking into this. Matt, what's going on and why the focus on oil? Remind people.
Yeah, Kate, look, Venezuela is a country that's just in deep economic.
12 plus warships, 15,000 troops. 12 plus warships, 15,000 troops. Mr. President, you owe the American people an explanation. Why are we doing this?
Crisis, right? Inflation is through the roof. Their currency has crashed. And yet they are sitting on this pot of black gold, right? Venezuela has over 300 billion barrels of crude oil reserves. That's more than any country on the planet. It's more than Saudi Arabia. It's more than Iraq as well. But what's striking is that even though Venezuela has this world-leading amount of oil reserves, it's actually not a major oil producer, right? It actually accounts for less than 1% of world oil production. That's really just a drop in the bucket. This is a look at the leading countries by oil reserves. And again, you can see Venezuela at the top of the list there. But because the country's been under sanctions, because of the economic crisis there, they're actually producing less than they were back in 2013 when Nicolas Maduro took power, less than even in 1999. And analysts say it would take years and just gobs of money from international oil companies before they could dramatically ramp up production. But as you mentioned, Maduro has claimed that this potential military confrontation is being driven by a desire to control Venezuela's oil reserves. And yes, the State Department has denied that. The Trump administration says this is really all about trying to stop the flow of illegal drugs and undocumented migrants. But
okay, if it's that, then make your case, because otherwise you're going to be open to this accusation that's about oil. Now, TBA, I agree with you. I agree. But it's a fair question. If it ain't about the drugs, then what is this about? And again, I'm sorry if I'm ranting this evening about this, but this has just been bugging me for days now. It's like, what the heck are we doing here? This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, possibly, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe we'll find out in the coming days. Personally, I really, really hope that we're not about to do something stupid. Well, true. Could be that too. Could be that too. Could be that too. You know, I mean, we'll see. We will absolutely see. But yeah. But I'll tell you what, though. I had one other subject, light subject. Now I'll dive into this some more probably Thursday. But did you guys hear about the announcement made from the White House today? This is interesting. This has been talked about for a little while, but I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. Trump accounts. Let me see if I can enlarge this a little bit, make it easier for you guys to read. No, it's about as good as it's going to get. Children born between 2025 and 28 who are U.S. citizens are eligible for a $1,000 government contribution to what's called a Trump account. You can put up to $5,000 total per year per child, may be contributed from all sources. Government and qualifying charitable organizations may make additional contributions that do not count to the limit. Parents, friends, and family and employers can begin making contributions on July 4th, 2026. This, I think, is kind of interesting. I mean, look, one of the biggest problems that we've had in this country for a while, and everybody experiences it, whether you're my age or younger, is the ability to save money. Okay. Well, the Trump administration has found a way with private contributions, and there was a billionaire today. He and his wife made I think it's like $2.6 billion contribution to this effort, that children born between 2025 and 2028 can start an account. It's called a Trump account, for lack of a better way of saying it, where they can put away money, and after the age of 18, it acts like a traditional IRA. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool idea. I'm going to try and get some more details about this and talk about it Thursday night. But this, to me, seems really interesting indeed. All right, folks, we're going to bring the train into the station. And like I didn't have a lot to talk about tonight, but I had something I really had to get out of my system. So we're going to bring it in, let you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. And with that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me vent for a little bit. I genuinely appreciate it. Hopefully you got the ability to do so too. We're going to be back this Thursday night, 7 o'clock for the newsroom, and going to get into some different subjects, different things to talk about, because like I say, there's always something going on. In the meanwhile, hit the thumbs up button as you're on your way out. Leave a comment in chat, either on Rumble or on YouTube. I would genuinely appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We're pulling into the normal train station that we pull into. Thank you very much. The wing nuts. Anyway, we'll be back this Thursday night at 7 o'clock for the newsroom, and we will be doing a brunch this weekend. So there you go. There you go. We'll be doing a brunch this weekend. So thank you guys for being here ever so much. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. We will catch up with you Thursday. And remember the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall, when he said, "It's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money." Love you guys very much. Merry Christmas and have a great night.